begins. Oh, by the way, it's Salicata. Yeah, because that open doesn't play my name, right, Dove? So I have to introduce myself. Normally, I just get right into it. Hi, Salicata here, going till 2 p.m. It begins tonight. Tonight in the Bronx is where the Yankees turnaround starts. And it better, because if they don't take care of the Royals, they are going to be in big-time trouble over the next 2 weeks here going into the deadline. We talk about the trade deadline being so impactful, how the Yankees are going to upgrade their ball club and waiting Aaron Judge. Well, for me, and Judge seems to be getting closer. And again, there is no definitive timeline for his return or date specifically. But if you do the math, use some common sense, he's running, he's taking batting practice. There's going to be a little bit of a ramp up. For me, it would be, trying to get him back. If not for the Baltimore series on July 28th, then that next series at home in the Bronx against the Rays, where they'll have 3 against the Rays and then 4 against the Astros. But it begins tonight. The Yankees all of a sudden here, over the last 3 weeks or 2 weeks, whatever it's been, playing themselves into sellers, believe it or not. The way that they were playing, there's a lot of thought from the fans at the very least. Hey, you know what? Why are we buying? Why would you invest in this team? But that will not be the Yankees' mentality. And they're going all in this year. At least that was the plan. Assuming that they can start winning some games here against the lower level teams, like the Royals, like the Mets, who they have coming up next week. Assuming they can win this weekend series, and really it should be a sweep. You're playing the Royals. One last place team here is a legitimate last place team. The Yankees are not. But the Yankees got to right the ship here. Otherwise, you can make the case that, hey, you know what? How are they going to be buyers at the deadline in a week and a half come August 1st? How will the Yankees be buyers and investing in this team? But here's how. And I've told you this a little bit earlier in the week. Yesterday, we kind of, we had a different type of show, all sorts of guests and all things like that. We talked about Saquon early in the week. We'll involve all that today as we wrap up this, this fun week here on Friday as ahead of the changes, that are taking place on Monday with me and BT and Tiki moving in the afternoons, all that stuff. But the Yankees need to get Judge back. They need to get an outfielder. They need to upgrade their club at the trade deadline. And they need to make it look different than what we've seen here in recent weeks. And they will. I have full confidence Brian Cashman and his staff will go out there and upgrade this Yankees team. And I know that this Yankee team that we see right now, 4 games back in the wild card hunt, which is hard to believe. Right there, they're with the Angels. They're behind the Red Sox. How's that possible? The Yankees. Because right now, they have hit their low. It has been rock bottom for this Yankees team, getting swept by the Angels. The way they've come out of the break, even going into the break, the way that they played there against the Cubs, losing a series to the Cardinals before that. This is rock bottom for the Yankees. That was it. Getting swept away by the Angels. Carlos Rodon blowing the kiss. He blew more than just a game the other night. Carlos Rodon acting the way, whatever. Yankees starters not getting it done. The bullpen not getting the job done. Obviously, the offense has been a big part here not getting the job done. It changes tonight. The Royals are in. Perfect timing. Yankees back home. Little home cooking. I know it's Clark Schmidt. You'd rather have Garrett Cole, but Clark Schmidt for tonight. He's been fine. The Yankees will get it going. Maybe the turnaround for Stanton and Rizzo tonight as well. Because you need at least one of those 2 guys to get going. And I firmly believe that they will. Now, if they don't this weekend, it's similar to what we said about the Mets a couple of weeks ago. If the Yankees, going to the All-Star break, the Mets had to show you something to keep the season alive, keep hope alive. And they have, to minimal, but they have. If the Yankees don't, over the next 5 games, go 4-1, something like that, heading into the Baltimore Orioles series, and they don't look different in the process, you don't feel different over the course of the next 5 games, maybe a different story next week. But for now, this better be rock bottom. And I really think it will be. I guarantee next week, Monday afternoon, Monday morning here, 10 a.m. when it's me and BT, the Yankees are going to be feeling totally different. The vibe around the Yankees will be different. And you'll be more excited about potentially adding to the deadline and the big series, whether it's the Subway Series if you're into that, or the big weekend series in Baltimore against the now first-place Orioles. You didn't think it was going to be possible in April that the Orioles would catch the red-hot Rays. The Rays have fallen off. They've done their part. The Yankees have not done theirs. And instead, it's been the Orioles and the Red Sox getting back into the thick of things. Or the Blue Jays, throw them in there as well, as they have been better. But when push comes to shove, as bad as it's been, as ugly as it has been at times, I still believe this Yankees team has what it takes. And I would still bet that they are going to be a playoff team. And we're going to feel differently come Monday. Yeah, the Royals, the Yankees own the Royals. I mean, everybody owns the Royals. They're one of the worst teams in baseball. It starts with that. Something as simple as that. Just righting the ship, getting a win at home against the Royals, getting the second win tomorrow, sweeping this series from the Royals. And then you have the day off. You got the Mets in town, and the Yankees will take care of them too. At the very least, win one and maybe even split. This is going to be the beginning of one of those Yankee stretches, running right through the teams that are in front of them in the American League wildcard race or in the division with the Orioles, Rays, and the Astros. Their season is on the line here. This is it. This is not, oh, we can wait till September. Oh, guys will pick it up then. It's now for the Yankees. They've played themselves into this point. 2 weeks ago, it didn't seem likely. You could think, they're not that good this year, but you still thought, all right, they'd be in the mix. Right now, they're sinking like a rock. It is rock bottom here. It has to be. Because if it is an ugly weekend at home against Kansas City, then I do think there's a possibility that changes could be made at the end of the season. Because if you start losing to the Royals and the Mets and find yourselves at the deadline looking like you should be sellers, playing your way into being sellers 2 weeks ahead of the deadline, the Yankees falling out of the wild card race, I don't think they're going to change Cashman, but I think the manager will be on the hot seat in that scenario, which I don't think is going to be the case. It starts tonight. I've been telling you it's going to feel different. I thought they would salvage that final game against the Angels. I was wrong. They did not. They had the off day here to kind of regroup a little bit. Royals come in. That's the remedy. Yankees on Monday will be different than what it feels like the Yankees on today. Michael is calling from Manhattan. What's up, Michael?
Hey, how you doing, South? First of all, congratulations. I look forward to you and BT next week.
Thank you, Michael. I'm looking forward to it.
I just really have a simple question. I love listening to you, and I respect your opinion. I'm just very curious why you are so positive that Cashman is going to make a trade that's going to help us, because the man hasn't made a good trade in a very long time. I mean, just looking at this roster alone, Donaldson was a horrible trade. Lizzo has fallen off a cliff and shouldn't have been re-signed. They should have went after Freddie Freeman. For whatever reason, did not do that. But there's no good trades that Cashman has made in the last 10 years that have really improved after the deadline. And I'm just curious why so.
I don't know if I would go that far, but I will say, Michael, and thank you for the call. I appreciate checking in. I'm not going to go as far as he hasn't made a good trade in 10 years. The one knock that I would have on Cashman, actually two knocks. Number one is when he makes these moves at times, the Yankees aren't taking into account. Now, I guess it's hard to do. How do you take into account how a player is going to be in New York specifically when you don't have them in New York? You could do all the background work and see what type of personality they have and mentality, but playing here is a different animal. And until you actually see a guy play here, and really it's not even just playing here, it's going through adversity here. Until you see somebody have some adversity and maybe come out the other side of it, how do you really know? And we're seeing that right now with Carlos Rodon, where they may have done the due diligence and think he's got the perfect mentality, and then you see an idiotic act like the other night, blowing the kiss. Like, that's not going to go over well. Wrong move. And that makes me wonder about Rodon moving forward. But the other knock is that the Yankees as an organization, and this is where it bothers me. Like, I've been pro-Yankee, more positive about the Yankees than anybody, especially at this point. But what bothers me is talking about the luxury tax bull crap. Like, forget that. You're the New York Yankees. Forget about the tax threshold. Are you trying to win a World Series or not? Forget the money. Nobody in this town, especially a Yankee fan, wants to hear about a tax threshold. This is the New York Yankees. Start operating like such. Improve the ball club. The team is sinking like a rock. They've hit rock bottom here. Figure it out. And I got to hear about the tax threshold. They got to get under that. Give me a break. I want to hear about improving the ball club. So the point is that last year, and this is not even a money thing, though, with last year. It's also the prospect thing, where the Yankees didn't want to give up what it was going to take to get the guy. Luis Castillo was the guy. That was, for me, it was Castillo or bust last year. And they went and got the less than guy, Frankie Montas. They've been operating like the less than Yankees. IKF instead of, Corey Seager, whatever. Pick a shortstop. Josh Donaldson trade, trying to get cute. Go get the best players and bring them in here and see what happens. Forget the money. And I understand that money's a part of it at a certain extent, but right now it should be fixing this team, getting back into the postseason, because they're pitching the way that it has been the majority of the year so far, lines them up better for the postseason at any point since 2017. And to answer your question specifically, why do I have faith that Brian Cashman is going to upgrade this team? Now, I don't know if he's going to make the right trade, but he will make multiple moves to upgrade this ball club, because he always does. Do they always work out the way that you hope? No, but they always go out there and try to improve their ball club. Dan is calling from Toms River, New Jersey. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Sal. What's going on?
How are you, Dan?
Good. You got to stop with this. You're jinxing the Yankees, bro. You got to stop, man.
Well, how am I jinxing them? They're playing poorly. That's my fault?
Every time I turn the radio on, you're talking good about it. Exactly. They're not going to make the playoffs. They might not. You're hexing the team, bro.
I'm not hexing the team. They're playing badly. Like, say, as
soon as the Mets weren't going to make the playoffs, you went on this whole Yankee love rant, how they're going to put it together. It's not happening, bro.
All right, so you don't think the Yankees are good, is what you're telling me?
No, they're good, but just
so are they making the playoffs or no?
I don't know. The way you're talking
if you had to pick,
not.
I can't. Well, here's the difference between you and I, Dan. Dan, here's the difference between you and I. I can't come on the air and say, I don't know. Are the Yankees making the playoffs? I don't know.
Yeah,
Hey, give me a question. Give me an answer to the question. Yes or no? Are, Dan, the Yankees, in your opinion, making the playoffs? Yes.
Know.
No, you got to give me. It's yes or no. It is a simple yes or no. It's a yes or no question. Yes or no answer. Do you have an answer or not?
No.
Then don't call. Then don't call me, because your call is useless. You have to look, guys, here's the point. Call up with an opinion, one way or another. You're jinxing the team. You're jinxing the team. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. Well, I do. They're making it. You want to call and say, Sal, you're lost, they're not making it? Then give me some facts. Give me some reason why you believe that. I'll respect that more than, you're jinxing the team. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to make it or not. And then I ask you a simple question. Like, it doesn't get any simpler than, are the Yankees, in your opinion, making the postseason? Yes or no? We've had issues with that this week. This is now the second time. Second time somebody's called and couldn't answer the simple question. Either the next words out of your mouth are guilty or not guilty. Yes or no? Are they making the playoffs? Now, your answer, I would assume, if life was on the line, would have been, and then look, some people may disagree, but I would still think the majority of people feel the Yankees are going to the postseason. Maybe I'm nuts. Maybe it's not the majority of people. The Yankees, you know how hard it is for the Yankees to miss the postseason? They never miss the postseason. And I really do believe in this team. Now, I believe they have to make changes. I believe they have to get Judge back. If you're painting the scenario, Judge is not coming back, and even if he does come back, he's going to be hurt still or not be as effective. They're not going to make the right moves. Oh, that's a different story. Rizzo's going to continue to do this, and Stanton's going to continue to do what he's doing. Then they're not going to make the playoffs. But I expect it to change, starting with tonight. But don't call in and give me the jinx bullcrap like, you're a jinx. I get it. Corey's calling from Great Neck. Hi, Corey.
Hey, Sal. Good to talk to you.
You too, Corey. What's on your mind today?
Yeah, I'm a fan of yours, but just listening to you today, you sound like a delusional Mets fan. No offense.
I'm not talking about the Mets. I don't understand what the Mets have to do with this.
I'm just saying, you have a lot of faith that the Yankees are going to turn it around, and I just don't see, like, I guess they're facing the Royals, but they're not that good either, the Yankees. You know, they have no left fielder. They have no third baseman. They have a rookie shortstop. I don't see how, I don't understand, like, what your thing is and why they're going to turn it around.
So you're bringing up excellent points. Right, exactly. You're bringing up excellent points. So what I'm saying here, Corey, and thank you for the call, and I'll continue to repeat myself because I understand that not everybody listens at every minute, although I'd love that. When the Yankees get Judge back, they will look different. The Yankees' bullpen has been the best in baseball. Now, that's struggled the last few games here, and that's been part of the problem why they're on such a losing streak here and why they've been bad since the All-Star break. I'm going to throw out the 3 games in Colorado because crazy things happen there. So when I evaluate them, I'm looking at an awful series with the Angels. There's no excuse for getting swept against the Angels. That, to me, when they got swept, that to me was, maybe they do have a problem here. But I'm standing by what I believe. I saw this team early on in the year go head-to-head with the best that the American League has to offer. And I came out of that saying, I think the Yankees are better. And that was the series with the Rays, 2 of them, early in May. I've seen the Yankees, even in recent weeks, take on the now first-place Baltimore Orioles. And the Yankees, even without Judge, won the first 2 games of that 4-game series. Now, unfortunately, they lost the next 2, but the first 2 games, you guys, short memory here. Not too long ago that the Yankees won those first 2 games from the Orioles, and Yankees fans out there pounding their chest, chirping away, here come the Yankees. Even without Judge. Moments like that make me believe in this team. Garrett Cole makes me believe in this. Now, Rodon sucks. I mean, I'm already over him. 3 starts, the guy's been awful. He talks a big game earlier in the year before he even takes them out. Oh, they don't need me for the regular season. They need me for the postseason. No, big boy, you're getting paid $150 million. Get your ass out there and take them out in the regular season. Because the way you're pitching and the way the team is playing, you're not going to see October. But prior to actually watching him his last 2 starts, or even just the last start, because I'll throw out the Colorado one, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But in Anaheim, that's unacceptable. Prior to that, I'm thinking, all right, well, they got Cole. They get their number 2 back in Rodon. How bad can he be? Cortez should be coming back. Severino looked good last time out. Herman, Schmidt, these guys have been okay. I'm fine with the pitching. They're going to upgrade the bullpen as well. They'll add another arm. So when you ask, how do you see this out? Well, I'm not looking at it right now. I'm trying to see what they will be in 2 weeks. Judge back, new left fielder, another bullpen arm. One of Rizzo or Stanton start to level off a little bit, come back to where they would normally be. And I also don't believe in the rest of the American League. That's another thing. Tell me the teams in the American League that you feel definitively are better than the Yankees. Definitively. Teams have been playing better lately. Or you could even say teams have played better the majority of the year, like the Orioles have been obviously far more consistent than the Yankees all year long. The Tampa Bay Rays, everybody, can't beat them. Look at their run differential. They're unbelievable. They're running away with the division. They've lost 5 straight. They've been dreadful in July. They've come back down to the pack. The Yankees have not done their part. Anybody in the Central? No. So you throw out the entire Central. We know what the American League East has to offer, and I still think the Yankees are better or as good as anybody in the division when healthy and clicking. You go to the West, the Yankees took care of the Rangers a couple of weeks ago in a series. Now, does that mean everything? No, but it does mean that still, even with the Rangers playing as well as they are and as good as they've been this year, and even with the Yankees being as lousy as they've been, they still were able to beat the Rangers 2 out of 3. They took 2 out of 3 from the Mariners. And the Astros haven't been as good this year. Oh, yeah, but, here's the other argument. Oh, yeah, but the Astros, they're the Astros and they're so good. Yeah, I understand that historically, but each season is different, right? Right now, that same Astros team that you look at and say, oh, well, they're better than the Yankees. How are the Yankees going to catch them? That team has 4 more wins than the Yankees. It's a 4-game difference. That's insurmountable. That can't change in a week. All of a sudden, the Astros hit the skids for a week and the Yankees get hot against the Royals and the crappy Mets? Come on now. So that's what I'm looking at.